Hello guys, we are back with another Mongol action. This time we have in the color blue playing as the Mongols, it is Starflark. And in the color green playing as the French, it is Core. And this is a match of all time. Historically, Mongols is a hard counter for French. Just because of the tower rush and the ability to just deny the gold, which is really important for the French. When you don't have gold, then you don't have access to those knights, and without knights, well, you know, your French civilization is kind of like from the Temu factory version, or the one from AliExpress or something like that. It's very funny because it's a lot of, I think it's universal knowledge that the things you buy from any kind of China store is kind of like a lesser quality to the original one, but you know, inside of China, the stores that you have, you get so much good quality and for a even cheaper price. If you think like the AliExpress or stores like that are cheap, you should check the ones inside the countries, like crazily cheap. Now, we are gonna see the barracks, meaning our French is gonna be from the Temu factory. Never mind. Actually, it is stable. Now, this is a very interesting opening. Because what happens with the stable is that you invest a little bit more. But technically you arrive faster. And maybe you don't really need to do a tower rush here. If you already go with some horsemen, then you may, you know, you may need to just put some pressure here, and you don't really need a tower. We will see. It's not double production. Horsemen are quite expensive when it comes to stone. We're talking about 120 stone. So potentially we will see a couple of more horsemen coming soon for Starflark. And I really like this opening. I really like it. To be honest, I wanna play Sifs that I can actually have a Dark Age opening. Like, no matter what, I go Dark Age. Nobody expects that. But anyway, Core knows that there is a potential threat for a tower rush. I don't know if he has scouted this or not, but he has sent so many villagers to gold, so that as soon as he gets thrown off the gold, then he will have some gold in the bank and he will be able to just access to those knights. He actually did end up opening with an early wheelbarrow, so he did gather a lot of gold. You know, he delayed his Asia, but he already got the important upgrades. Now, this is a map that sometimes the gold is just really close to you. Unfortunately for him, the gold is just really far. And there are a couple of gold veins here that can be denied easily with a tower. So let's see if Starflark actually wants to deny that. And indeed, it is a tower rush. Gonna deny the gold here. Core has some gold in the back, which is very good for him. I don't know how much this gold denies. And the problem is these horsemen are just becoming really annoying. They're just right here trying to stop Starflark from mining more gold. He has enough for one knight. One knight is enough to take all of those early horsemen. There is a huge difference actually between the horsemen and the early horsemen. So it is worth the upgrade for sure. It's worth the upgrade. Meanwhile, looks like Core doesn't really want to invest in taking down this tower. It's like, you know what? You can put the tower. I don't really care. It's gonna go for some spearmen. He already have the answer for this. Meaning that Starflark are already there with the stable. Going for a spearman looks like a really good choice for him. Eventually can torch the tower, can deal with those horsemen, and gonna be having a blast. Let's take a look at Starflark's point of view. He indeed sees everything with this tower and the falcon. Meanwhile, this knight is looks like it's gonna go for some harassing. This is a very open map. There's plenty of food here, plenty of berries, plenty of fishing, which give you a lot of food income. If you don't know, gathering fish from the shoreline actually give you quite extra gathering rates, so you should be having a good time. Meanwhile, a single knight gonna be taking down the villager. This villager is not going back home for the Mongol player. With this single knight out there, looks like Starflark will have to be a little bit on the defensive. He does have access to Keshiks, which are not really like a couple of Keshiks will just deal with this Royal Knight. But just on 1v1, just Keshiks are just not as good. But looks like he can get away with that. Looks like we're gonna have an archer range, potentially some Mangudai coming from Deer Stones now. Meanwhile, like I said, core, just go to the gold in the back. Like, no big deal. This tower can go up. Like, looks like Starflark didn't start really well, considering this is a matchup that is very heavy favor to the Mongol player. Now core is on the Starflark's base, has access to gold, he's producing knights, and not only that, he has an early wheelbarrow, so his economy should be much better. Let's take a look at the income per minute now. We're already almost 7 minutes into the game. A couple of archer range makes me think he wanna go Mangudai. Just because archers don't really make a lot of sense here because they are knights. Mangudai is such an annoying unit, to be honest. Knight gonna be trying to take down a villager, not gonna be able to. Gonna pull back for now. Meanwhile, this tower still being quite annoying with the emplacements here. Slow but steady, taking down the School of Cavalry. Meanwhile, a couple of Mangudai already on the way. Not gonna be having the Kang Hunter yet. But looks like this unit is gonna be just annoying enough to deal with this knight. Are these guys faster? Did they make the Mangudai faster? Or am I blind? Oh, it's just a Deer Stone. Sorry, guys. No, because this unit, if it's faster than you, that's broken. And like that's super annoying. But if you think about it, around the Deer Stones, then they will never catch you. You will never catch them. Like around the Deer Stones, this unit has like a lot of movement speed. Meanwhile, early horsemen already upgraded to horsemen. Extra HP, extra damage, and with a little bit of a surprise attack, looks like Core gonna take down the outpost, and at the same time, Starflark decides, you know what, I'm gonna take down some villagers here. Outpost is gonna go down for now, and Starflark managed to take down one villager. A lot of value coming from these early horsemen. Meanwhile, Mangudai on the field, ready to cause some chaos here. Like, if you have deal with Mangudai, you know what I'm talking about. It's extremely annoying. Meanwhile, Core already there with the blacksmith. Remember, the blacksmith already gave +1 melee damage for free for the French. So, even if you don't research anything, it's good for you. You just have extra attack for all those knights. Especially because you can just give a charge attack. Charge attack give 30 plus 20. It's a pretty much one hit KO to those villagers without textiles. Does Starflark has textiles? No, not yet. Not yet. Not only not having textiles, but he doesn't have any... He doesn't have any trade going on. And the reason why this is important is because the French produce villagers faster. So you're not fighting against an opponent where you're on an equal situation of, you know, one town center and against one town center, and you have pretty much the same number of villagers if both of you don't lose anything. This is not that case. French villagers actually produce much faster, 17 seconds each. So you're gonna already start seeing some difference here, especially because Starflark lost a couple of villagers. Number of knights start to become really scary, and Mangudai, while annoying, Still not very effective. Gotta be careful not to lose those Mangudai against those Spearmen. Outpost dealing quite a lot of damage here. But looks like Core will push with this mass. And Starflag is just doing mass Mangudai now. This is just the way of the Mongol, guys. It is the way of the Mongol. Mass Mangudai, early horsemen. I really love in this match. Meanwhile, Starflag already there with the knights in his base. Not enough space to run from those knights. Gonna be losing quite a lot of villagers here. Meanwhile, Core a little bit overextending himself. He's killing just a handful of villagers, but he's losing quite a lot of knights. Definitely he's causing a lot of idle time, which is definitely annoying. But he did lose his knight mass, and that's gonna cost him in the long term. Meanwhile, Core getting those eco upgrades. Spearman gonna get upgraded for Starflag. Looks like he has no choice but to go for some Spearman against those knights. Now, I love this Mongol playstyle, don't get me wrong. Like, the fact that you have Mangudai and Horseman, such a versatile army. But just against those knights, it's just not enough. Now, with this amount of Mangudai, maybe you can think about kiting some knights. It can get really annoying. Definitely, but you know, it's gonna be hard. You need to add those spearmen. Are we gonna see the... There you go, the Khan Hunter finally. Looks like a raid happening here with those Mangudai. Those villagers not gonna get back home. Very nice raid coming from Starflag. Khan comes once again to give a little bit of vision to Starflag. Well, let's take a look at Core's vision. So far, stacking his base. Not really in a bad position, but now that he lost so many villagers, he shouldn't feel too much confidence about himself. Like, just being in one town center, it's just really risky. And there you go, walls coming in the south side of the map. Gonna be preventing those Mangudai too. Just raid your base. It's just really annoying. Meanwhile, more spearmen arriving into Starflag's army. No archers from Core, just keep that in mind. He doesn't have anything to deal with those spearmen other than brute force and just having a bigger army mass. Oh no, unfortunately, Core won't be able to finish that wall. Starflag. I don't know what's going on with me. I cannot pronounce Starflag. It's such a hard thing to pronounce. I don't know why. It sounds really cool, to be honest. It's a really cool name. Not like Mao Mao, you know, just like a dog name. To be honest, it is a dog name. Or it can be like a name for kids or for girls, for little boys. It is a very cute name. The only reason I'm using it is because my workers, ex-co-workers put me that name, but never mind. Let's look at this, because this is not looking very good for Starflag. It's losing quite a lot of villagers, and there isn't a single unit here. Spearman just not working at all. Meanwhile, this Mangudai trying to cause a little bit of chaos here. Archers coming from Core as well, but he's losing so many villagers. And Spearman finally here, but not enough Spearman to deal with this mass. Starflag losing back to 22 villagers. Just like the lead he had at the beginning, he's about to lose it. Luckily for him, there is a way to get away there, but Starflag back to 15 villagers. Oh god. This might be GG for him. What do you do with 15 villagers? Not only that, like, you also don't have trade going for yourself, which is one of the strongest things to do as the Mongol, is to just set up the trade. And just one TC aggression against a French player, Doesn't look like a good thing, but Mangudai gonna arrive again. Mangudai is gonna be the hero of the day. Gonna be pushing with only Mangudai here. Look at the Mangudai actually taking down knights. Actually happening, guys. Actually happening. Now you gotta be careful with those archers. Archers do very, very good against Mangudai. They do have the extra range from the Khan Hunters, so they will do good against those. Looks like he started firing those archers. He knows how dangerous they can be. Looks like time to go away. Mangudai gonna be kiting those Royal Knights. Royal Knights going down pretty fast so far. Mangudai proven to be quite an annoying unit. And guys, this is not the lower leagues. These are Conqueror 3, Conqueror 4 players. Starflag, obviously, very, very good player. Core. In the top 50 of the world, obviously. Very, very good players here. Looks like another villager going down. 32 villagers went down in this match. I don't see a way Starflag can come back from this. But, I mean, it's still very annoying to have those Mangudais. Just remember, villagers don't win battles. Like, Mangudais do. Well, armies, armies do. In this case, it is just Mangudai. What an annoying unit, to be honest. At this point, you may think about walling the whole area. And there's nothing like the Mangudai player can do. And Mangudai come once again to raid more villagers. Some of them may go down. Now remember, Starflag doesn't have the economy to sustain this army. He cannot really just build more Mangudai or more army because he doesn't have villagers. Couple of spearmen here causing some trouble. You can see Core is struggling against those Mangudai. Taking down quite a lot. Quite a lot of villagers. Suddenly the gap is not as big as before. We're talking about still Core has a big advantage here. But Starflag already took down 29 villagers and counting. As Mangudai is gonna be the play of the game here. I mean, Core is back to square one. Both players are like pretty much early in the field age with 25 villagers against 38. It's just not a good position to be in. We're already 18 minutes into the game. You should have more villagers than that. That's all I know. That's all I know, guys. But looks like, you know, if it ain't broken, it ain't need to be fixed. And Mangudai is still there. Kashik's gonna be joining the party. Wall's gonna be built for Core. And I may change for Mongols this season. It's such a troll civilization. I love it. I just love it. Meanwhile, Core already there with plenty of archers. Looks like he already gave up the dream of having those Royal Knights. You know, in the end, he ended up being the French from the Temu factory. That may be it. He's so afraid of Mangudai that he just started walling the whole map. The problem with this map is that the food is in so many locations. Like you have little berries from here and there, and you have these fishing ponds that are just scattered around the map, and it's just so hard for you to just stay in one place. Another knight going for a raid. Looks like Starflag gonna lose another villager. Looks like he loses another knight. Now these... oh my god, Mangudai. These raids from Core has been proven to be quite effective. However, he lost a lot of knights on doing so. And you may think like, okay, like 31 villagers down, it may worth the the knight's sacrifice, right? But we have become to a point where Starflag is just one villager away from equalizing that number. And slow but steady, it's kind of recovering. Core is still with the villager lead, gonna go there for some farms. Keshik gonna get caught here, not gonna be able to take down any single villager here. Meanwhile, Starflark, unfortunately, stuck in the field age. But so does Core. So does Core. Meanwhile, more farms coming. Definitely food. It's about to run out for Core. At least the ones in his area. And you need to go for other food resources. Meanwhile, Starflark, having the time of his life eating sheep. I just eat some cheap barbecue tonight. Amazing stuff. You need to try it out. Meanwhile, more Mangudai coming to the base again. Mosquito around my computer. I'm trying to kill it, but I cannot. It's gonna be very annoying. But Core does have the answer to the Mangudai. He does have the archers. However, these guys do have the extra tiles range. We're talking about 4.5 against 5 tiles range. So it's not a huge difference compared to 3.5, right? Or I think it was 4. But you can already tell how much Starflark is suffering against those units. Keshik gonna be trying to take down those archers, but nice micro coming from Core, pulling those archers away and pushing the spearman to scare those Keshiks. Meanwhile, another tower going down. Is it gonna be fast enough? Can you take the villagers down? Looks like it's gonna happen. And more villagers coming down. Look at the range of those Mangudai. And now, Starflark with a lead on the villager kill with 33 against 32. Ah. We do have a game here. We do have a game. I guess Starflark just needs to be annoying until he can catch up. But I don't know how he can catch up with the French. They do have faster villager production. They're already having some farms here. Some farms in the back as well. He does have gold under his base, so I like the position of Core more than Starflark. Especially because he's not trading. Core doesn't know this. He's stuck in his base for now. Meanwhile, Starflark is taking the initiative with the Mongols. Like, you have to do it. Oh my god, such an annoying unit. Like, that's it. If that's a fight you cannot take, you just run away. That's what you do. But Starflark is about to mix some archers here. And they're gonna get the extra buff from the Khan Hunter. Gonna be giving extra range to those archers, which definitely gonna help. Definitely gonna help. Just massing those archers in his base until they are good. He has a, decent amount of archers. He will decide to push. It looks like he's going back to his base, waiting for those archers. It looks like there isn't any Khan Hunter here. Looks like Core will push this time. A little bit of a macro mistake from Core, having plenty of gold. Plenty of gold in the bank. Might as well age up to castle. At this point, he may be thinking like, why this guy haven't died yet? I'll kill like 30 villagers at the beginning of the game. But looks like finding under this outpost, Core is gonna lose his army here. And now that all the spearmen are gone, Starflark slow but steady, having a little bit of a comeback. Not in terms of economy, but at least he has the army lead. And if there's something I can take from this match, it's just Mangudai is extremely annoying. Looks like we're gonna go for a second town center. Already putting there more barracks. Definitely you have to go for a second town center against a Mongol player like this. Like, you kinda have to. Superior mobility coming for Starflark. Looks like he's gonna move the deer stones. I'm not really sure. But now plenty of archers for him. And not so much frontline for core. The Spearman are already there, but looks like Starflark will pull the Keshiks right on time. Another raid happening on the Starflark's base. It looks like the Spearman will take care of it. Meanwhile, Starflark pushing into the core's base. Nothing like a 26-minute feudal fight. That's what we live for, guys. 5.5 tiles range for these archers. Meanwhile, these archers have 5 tiles range. So we're talking about 0.5. Not a huge difference, but it does add up. When you start engaging and your archers shoot faster, then you definitely have an advantage. If you don't believe me, you can ask the Lombos. They have plenty of reasons to believe that extra tile range is definitely an advantage. Meanwhile, Starflark having quite a lot of wood. Probably considering just making either more archers or just working on the farm transition. Meanwhile, villagers going for another food source. Very, very risky coming from core. Very far away from base. Did he went for a second town center? There you go. Second town center already there. Definitely what you need to scale here. Now, core lost his army, but he has recovered. Also, his army is not as good as Starflark. Starflark has Keshiks and archers, which arguably is a better army than Spearman and Archer. It's like a run push coming for Starflark. This is a game of all time, guys. This is it. This is what we came for today. A classic Mongol rush. I don't know what happened to my graphics card. Every time I go away, like the textures don't load. Take a look at this. Bam. See, did you see that? I'm sure you saw that. Like, the textures didn't load. Like, that's extremely annoying. I'm very sensitive for this kind of stuff. I don't know if you are. But now, more knights coming for core. Unfortunately, suffering a little bit from success. He has a little bit too much gold. And now Starflark goes for it with a very big archer mass. 32 so far. Meanwhile, the Keshiks are somewhere in this map. Are trying to get a kill here and there. Are you gonna be careful not to raid with your whole front line? Because the moment core just push you back, this archer mass is gone. Like, even with some spearmen here, just a handful of knights are just gonna take down these archers so easily. So you gotta be careful with raiding. You may want to raid, but you don't want to raid to the other stream of the map. Now Starflark already start trading. Not gonna be the best trade. First traders are already up, only with 27 gold. It's gonna be eventually moving the market, but he's gonna age up. Interesting decision here. Like, core went for a second town center. Meanwhile, Starflark is going for an age up. He's starting to trade. So while economy not the best for him at the moment, he does have the potential in the short run to actually even things out. But the problem is gonna be the gold here. Starflag does have the gold here in the front. It's gonna be quite exposed. Meanwhile, Core does have plenty of gold in his base. This one is about to run out, but still has a couple of gold veins here. Truly a blessed spawn for him. Starflag only have one gold vein in the back. Does have a big gold vein here, a little bit far from the base, but still in the back. And Kurultai is finished. And with that, let's see which upgrades he goes first. I suspect it's gonna be the Keshiks. Archers are the top priority. There you go, Keshiks and Archers. Spearman can wait a little bit. He does have the goal to upgrade the Spearman. Meanwhile, the trade up and running with 5 traders. Decent work. But Core with quite a lot of gold. The problem is he doesn't have the food. He's going for a farm transition, and that is what is delaying him. And by going that farm transition, you end up in a really weird spot with, okay, what do I do with my resources now? Like, what I'm gonna do with the wood? I just need to go for the farms. And while doing the farm transition, I mean, you don't have much food going on for you. He does have 82 villagers, so things are not so bad for him. Kurultai gonna be moving out, and Starflark with a very big army. Are we gonna see this Mangudai being upgraded? Because this is one of those units that the longer the game is, the better it is, the better unit it becomes. Not only they do have extra buff for the attack range, they do have more damage, and in Imperial they are just insane. Looks like Core gonna go for a push at the same time. He is aging up. Gonna be careful here with this push. Starflark army is around here, and it's a big army. We're talking about 80 military units. Man-at-Arms are starting to join the mix. Kurultai deploy here. Not in the best position. But now Core aging up, but he's gonna lose his army. He has everyone here. And now with veteran archers, just gonna be really hard to win this fight. Spearman not really doing work here, because the Keshiks were just kiting. And this is a veteran army. Kurultai is gonna get deployed soon. This army does have extra attack, extra everything. Core back to 10 military units, and there's not much he can do now. Stone walls coming here. Oh my god. And Core reached the castle age. Now, not everything is lost for Core. He did lose his army, but there is a guild hall. He's on 2 TC. And there is always the potential of going that Red Palace. Red Palace will basically extend your lifespan in this game, because the opponent cannot kill you anymore. Like, the problem is this wall gonna be finished on time? Starflark knows about this. Core with a single military unit is like, hold on a second. And he knows there is no way you can go here. He's gonna try here. Will Core be able to finish up this wall on time? Because he has no units. He needs to hold. And unfortunately, this wall didn't get finished. Starflark gonna be pushing here. A couple of rams being made. More Keshiks gonna join the party. Meanwhile, Core with an emergency keep next to the farms. Unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna be on time. Keshiks are already arriving. Not a single unit to stop those Keshiks from taking down those villagers. Speed arrow. Just going for those Keshiks, and more villagers going down, and the keep won't go up. More units keep coming here from the Mongol player, and that's it. Core taps out. Well played by these two guys. Amazing game between these two guys. I'll put a link in the description where you can follow them, and I'll see you in the next one.